Senator Bernie Sanders, Crazy Bernie, has spewed the same half dozen talking points on every show every year since he became a national figure. Well, I guess with one exception, he switched out blaming millionaires for oppressing ordinary Americans for billionaires after he himself became a multimillionaire due to his publicity and his best-selling books. But he has a new book out now, but since he is old news, nobody really cares. It's called Fight Oligarchy. So comedian Tim Dillon saw this as an opportunity to have Crazy Bernie on his show. No disrespect to Tim, but a lot of times when politicians or really anyone has a new book out, they will go on other shows that they normally wouldn't go on in hopes of selling more copies and appeasing the publisher. Going on shows that they really aren't familiar with because they usually don't deal with that, but the publisher wants to make their money back. And so he went on Tim Dillon's show. I didn't watch it. I'm assuming that Tim was respectful and had an interesting conversation as you could have with Crazy Bernie, repeating his same half dozen talking points. But he did say something very unique. He did agree that President Trump is right about securing our border.
If you don't have any borders, then you don't have a nation, right? In a sense. So has historically the United States done well under Democrats and Republicans in protecting the border? The answer is no. Trump did a better job. I don't like Trump, but we should have a secure border. And it ain't that hard to do. Biden didn't do it. Those before him did not do it. We should have a secure border, period.
Well, a slight little correction there. Not only did Biden not secure the border, but he welcomed, facilitated, and paid for countless millions of criminal invaders to enter our country. But Crazy Bernie, who has looked 80 years old for his entire political career, used to sound normal when it came to immigration. In fact, this was the basic staple of the Democrat Party.
Unfortunately, the guest worker provisions in this bill, which will bring many hundreds of thousands of lower-wage workers into this country, will only make a bad situation even worse, will drive down wages even further, not only for low-wage American workers, but for highly skilled professionals as well.
Whoa, Crazy Bernie denouncing the H-1B visa loophole to flood America with millions of mostly Indian immigrants, which now will get you called a racist if you oppose that by people like Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. But that was then, and this is now, when the Democrats' voter base shifted from blue-collar, hardworking Americans to non-Americans, or future Americans, as they're calling them, hoping to grant amnesty and citizenship to the 30-plus million illegal aliens, not to mention their countless anchor babies who are automatically granted citizenship, which we pay for also. Granting them and their anchor babies every possible benefit that the bureaucracy has concocted, including health care to undocumented, to criminal invaders. But since that has become a major hang-up in getting the next budget resolution agreed upon, which caused the government shutdown this time, now they're claiming that Donald Trump is spreading fake news. A CNN fact check, which is about as reliable as the Weekly World newspaper at the grocery store, if that's even still in print anymore. Donald Trump falsely claims that Democrats want to give free health care to illegal aliens in government shutdown battle. Well, what are you going to believe, CNN or your lying eyes? Remember when all of the Democrats running for president were asked if they were going to give health care to the illegal aliens, and every single one of them raised their hand? Yes. And we all know who pays for that? Us, American citizens, taxpayers, because no illegal aliens are going out and buying health insurance. But let's take another trip down memory lane, this from 2007, when, again, the Democrats were somewhat sane. They at least did have the American workers in mind. Their philosophies still largely crap. Not all of them, but here is Nasty Pelosi sounding like a normal human being.
The undocumented are not allowed to receive benefits from this initiative. It was clear in the first bill. It's even clearer in the second bill. There's a cap on who can receive it, stronger language as to undocumented, undocumented. No illegal aliens, to use your term I prefer.
There we go. Yeah, finally, call them what they are. I actually prefer criminal invaders, but illegal aliens certainly better than the Orwellian, the undocumented workers, the undocumented welfare leeches. Here's Hillary Clinton back before the woke mind virus destroyed the Democrat Party.
As to illegal aliens, we agree with you that we do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens. We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration into this country. We know now that too many people come in for medical care as it is. We certainly don't want them having the same benefits that American citizens are entitled to have.
I mean, what's next? Is the pre-Trump era Hillary Clinton going to agree with President Trump that the illegal aliens who have committed other crimes, aside from breaking into our country, should immediately be rounded up and deported? Oh, wait, what's this?
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone.
Yeah!
If they...
Oh, hey, that's a neat little gesture there. You're doing, Hillary. Even old Joe, pre-dementia Joe, pre-woke mind virus pandemic America Joe, opposed and denounced sanctuary cities, the Democrat-controlled cities, which actively obstruct justice and aid and abet the criminal illegal aliens, stopping ICE from doing their jobs, identifying, rounding them up, and deporting them.
Would you allow these cities to ignore the federal law regarding the reporting of illegal immigrants and, in fact, provide sanctuary to these immigrants?
The reason the cities ignore the federal law is the fact that there is no funding at the federal level to provide for the kind of enforcement at the federal level you need. Pick up the New York Times today. There's a city not far across the river from my state that imposed similar sanctions. And what they found out is, as a consequence of that, their city went in the dumps, in the dumpster. Stores started closing. Everything started to happen. And they changed the policy. Part of the problem is you have to have a federal government that can enforce laws. This administration has been fundamentally derelict in not funding any of the requirements that are needed even to enforce the existing law.
So, Senator Biden, yes or no, would you allow the cities to ignore the federal law?
No.
Okay.
But now, severely libtarded states like California aren't just welcoming the illegal aliens in and obstructing justice by aiding and abetting them, protecting them from ICE, but they are also granting them over 60,000 in California commercial driver's licenses.
A federal audit found California had issued 62,000 CDLs to drivers who entered illegally, John, or do not have a permanent legal status as required by the feds. California sanctuary laws prohibit asking applicants their immigration status. Governor Newsom said there's not a problem.
That's not a problem, according to Gavin Newsom, even though we keep seeing stories like this. The driver of a semi-truck that slammed into multiple vehicles, killing 3 people on a California highway, was allegedly under the influence of drugs, authorities said. Well, not only that, but the key point of the story is that he was an illegal alien. So another one who shouldn't have even been here. And we've been invaded by so many non-English speakers that the core of American culture has been so severely eroded that the clown who is going to be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show in a couple months is bragging that the audience is just going to have to learn Spanish in order to understand his songs. This is Bad Bunny, by the way.
De todo, demostrando que nuestra huella y nuestra aportación en este país nadie nunca la podrá sacar ni borrar.
Get out.
And if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn. We have a great show for you tonight.
You have 4 months to bend over and cater to the non-English speaking tens of millions of invaders who refuse to assimilate, but instead demand now that we assimilate and accept, incorporate their culture and customs. And earlier this week, even President Trump bent over to the H-1B visa immigrants by holding a Diwali celebration in the Oval Office. Most Americans had never heard of Diwali until this year when the memo went out, and not only Democrats, but many Republicans posted happy Diwali messages on their social media accounts, a Hindu holiday that many Indians celebrate here because, of course, they have also invaded us, and instead of assimilating to American culture, now we are expected to start celebrating their holidays. A holiday which in some parts of India is seriously, literally celebrated by the locals having a cow poop fight. Because in Hinduism, cows are considered to be, these divine creatures. And so seriously, this is not a joke. This is not deep fake AI. This is the annual Diwali cow poop throwing celebration in parts of India, which I'm sure Harry Sisson is going to be excited to attend next year. And the memes of people dropping poop on Harry continue to grow after he whined about President Trump posting that one on Truth Social, violating the very tenets of dealing with trolls by feeding them. And so now Harry Sisson is and will be best known for memes of people dropping poop on him. Even Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is getting the treatment. Oh, yes. There we go. Gavin Newsom, pooped on. Jasmine Crockett. Bye-bye. Chuck Schumer. Yes. Harry's been milking this all week, portraying himself as a poor victim of getting pooped on by President Trump. Here he is on Don Lemon's podcast.
Saying like, oh, there's Harry getting pooped on by the president of the United States. It's just not a sentence, number one, I imagine you ever thought you'd say, or a sentence I ever thought I'd hear.
Well, you're going to be hearing it from now on for the rest of your life. And now he is hinting that President Trump needs to pay for what he's done.
Maybe it's time to see if there is something that we can do to hold Donald Trump accountable for his AI video and for the things he has done to me and, of course, other Americans. So stay tuned. If Donald Trump thinks that he can just post this crap and get away with it and that's the end of it, well, he and J.D. Vance, his lapdog, have another thing coming. Stay tuned. I love you all. Mwah.
How could President Trump get away with posting a meme? It sounds like he may actually sue President Trump, file a bogus lawsuit claiming that President Trump used his likeness without his permission, which immediately will be thrown out, and just feed the trolls even more. Cause more people to make memes of Harry getting pooped on. So please, Harry, do that. And if you enjoy watching my videos and you want to support my channel, then buy me a coffee by clicking the link in the description below. It's a great way for people to tip their favorite content creators because the super thanks and super chats on YouTube get skimmed by YouTube at 30% off the top, even before taxes. So buy me a coffee, much better service. Just click the link in the description below, head on over there, and check it out.